here in Wexford County, and we're taking up the case of People of the State of Michigan versus Cody Taylor Petrie. Am I saying that right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. This is file number 25-14151FH. Appearances from counsel, please.
Joanna Carey for the people.
Allison Cass on behalf of Mr. Petrie.
Thank you.
Honor Lisa Kursatawa, always also on behalf of Mr. Petrie.
Thank you. Mr. Petrie is here in person, and also here in person is the agent from the Department of Corrections who prepared today's pre-sentence investigation report, Mr. Stephen Saladay. We are here today for a sentencing in this case. The defendant entered a plea back on November 24th to a single count of use of methamphetamine as a second or subsequent offender. Let me take a quick look here at the PSI. Have any notes on it? That's pretty rare. Must not have seen it. One moment. All right, Ms. Carey, did you receive it? And if so, did you have any amendments, corrections, or objections to make?
Thank you. I did receive and review it. I don't have any corrections or additions. Thank you.
All right, same question for whichever one of the two is going to talk on behalf of the defendant.
Yes, briefly. To clarify, in one point of the PSI, it stated the recommendation was to 18 months, and another it was to a year and 8 months. And then the third section it was to 18 months. So I'd be asking for clarification on probations.
Yeah, no problem. I assume, Mr. Saladay, you meant on CFJ 145, page 2, that would be 6 months.
Yeah, it should be 18 months pro. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
1 year and 6 months.
Correct.
All right, we got that one. Okay.
And next being
Anything else?
yes, looking at page 9, looking at the employment section, prior to his drug use, Mr. Petrie advised that he was working 4 jobs from 2014 to approximately 2016.
Good. All right. And do you want to provide me any other detail there?
I would defer to Mr. Petrie.
All right, Mr. Petrie, it sounds like you had some other employment. Right now, it's got listed as Northern Staffing.
Yeah, I did the last 10 years only. I didn't do like anything at all that. I worked at Pompey's in Baldwin since 2006 to 2018.
Okay, hold on. Pompey's, that's a pizza place?
Yes.
And that was 2014 to
2006 to 2018.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood you.
Sorry.
2018, copy that.
And then to Reed City Pompey's 2011 to 2013.
2011 to 2013.
Yep.
Okay, so you worked at 2 different places in the same business.
Yeah, same business. And then the Everett one, I helped establish the Everett one. Everett one today.
And when was that?
In between, like, so probably 2012 to 2014.
All right, we can add those, and it sounds like they're overlapping, and obviously it's all good for the same kind of business. Did you get all that, Mr. Saladay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Back to you, Ms. Castle.
And then just to clarify regarding his substance use, as that is the offense he's being sentenced on today, his THC use, he advised that he quit using that altogether in 2013 when his son was 2 years old. That's what caused him to become sober from marijuana.
Okay, all right, we can go ahead and make that change. Thank you. Hold on, let me double check to make sure that not only are we talking on CFJ 145, page 1, but also in CFJ 284, and that would be page 10. Yeah, so we'll have to change that also on page 10. All right. That Mr. Saladay?
I do.
Next, Ms. Castle.
And yes, that is it.
Thank you very much. Give me just a moment to refresh my recollection. Ms. Castle, allocation.
Thank you. We would be asking that the court adopt the recommendation put forth by probation. However, without him being sentenced to jail for the remainder of the term, he's been in custody for 57 days. Mr. Petrie was accepted into a 30-day residential treatment program addressing his substance abuse issues. When he was arrested for this event, he was experiencing a relapse. Prior to being arrested, he was successfully sober for 9 months. He had gone through treatment at Harbor Hall, as the report notes. However, he did leave early. His reason for doing so was that he was confident in his sobriety without it, and that he missed his son. And now what's changed is he's ready to move forward. He's ready, knowing that he can't do this by himself. He's explained to me that he understands the significance of community that he had when he was actively engaging in treatment, and he desperately wants that. He wants to get back to working the way that he was prior to his substance abuse taking off. He wants to be the father that his son deserves, and he's asking that the court give him that chance by ordering him to treatment, as well as the term of probation to keep him accountable.
All right, thank you. Ms. Carey, on behalf of the people.
Thank you. I am somewhat reluctant, but I'm going to ask the court also to follow the recommendation. And when I say I'm reluctant, it's because you look at the PSI, it says he's had very little work history over the last couple of years. He has mental health conditions that are currently untreated, and a long history of substance abuse, and the fact that he left Harbor Hall already before he completed is troubling. And I understand that now he knows he can't do it on his own. I hope that's true, and I hope he can show that moving forward. However, his history is not terrific, but I understand the guidelines, and I understand what the plea agreement was in this case and the reasons for that. So I am going to ask the court to do the jail sentence with probation. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Petrie, I want to find out an answer to a question before I turn it over to you. 1 second, please.
Okay.
There it is. Mr. Petrie, I want to ask this question. I want to make sure it says, I know you have a son. Do you just have the one son?
Yes.
All right. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same. And what's your custodial relationship with your
I
son?
have full custody of my son. My sister has temporary power of attorney right now.
Okay. All right. How long have you had that full?
Since he was 3 years old.
All right. All right, sir, you have the right to make a statement before the court issues a sentence. Is there anything you wish to say?
Yeah, if I'm able to go and leave to rehab, I'm like Mike Lloyd said, I'm very serious about it. I'm gonna seek transitional housing and stuff after the fact. Regardless on what happens here today, I'm still gonna go to rehab.
Mr. Saladay, are you aware of this rehab and have you confirmed it or don't know anything about it?
First time I've heard of it.
All right.
He expressed
Excuse me, Your
an
Honor.
interest in it.
Okay. Yep, hold on.
He expressed an interest in it, but nothing had been set up at the time of the PSI
Okay.
interview, which was about 5 weeks.
Your Honor, I just want to
Sure.
confirm that you received the letter from the facility that was sent to your court and sent to the prosecutor.
When was it sent?
I spoke to them on Friday. They confirmed that it was sent to the court as well as the prosecutor's office. They sent it to us by fax on November 19th.
Well, we'll take just a brief recess in place. I don't have it. I'll go check my office.
Allison, I don't appear to have it.
Rise.
It's all right, folks. Take your seats. Thank you very much. All right, I do not have any letter. Ms. Carey, did you get one in your email?
No.
Yeah, all right. Okay. All right, well, one moment. I'm gonna get back to what I was reviewing a moment ago. All right. Well, let's take a look here. When I look here at the agent's description of offense. Oh, by the way, Mr. Saladay, in the middle, at CFJ 284, page 2, in the middle of the large paragraph underneath description of the offense. On the 6th line down, 2/3 of the way through, it's got a misspelling. I assume that means he.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, no problem. And this is the case where Mr. Petrie identified himself as a Daniel Hall, correct? Yeah, so he, and I know that was already acknowledged in the scoring of the guidelines, specifically offense variable number 19. One moment. Then,
No.
Yeah.
No, Your
Yeah.
Honor, that's wrong. I'm sorry.
yeah.
How was another person in the vehicle?
Okay, all right,
He just didn't provide his identification
okay,
or name up front, and they had to take a picture of him to identify him at the shelter.
all right, so that is how, not he.
Right.
All right, good, I just wanted to make sure we got that right. See, in my pointers, there's multiple people
Mhm.
in the vehicle. And when I look at the agent's description of the offense, I got in the vehicle without knowing an individual fully. And then I relapsed. It looks to me like Mr. Petrie was already putting himself in a bad position by getting into this vehicle with people who clearly relying parked behind a church. I don't know what he thought he was getting himself into. And it's not like he just relapsed there in the car. I mean, clearly he put himself in this position, or I think a reasonable person, or at least a reasonable person in his position would know he was likely not in the right place. One moment. And I recall reading this last week. 1 second. At the bottom of CFJ 284, page 3, this is Mr. Petrie saying he just gotten a job, had a backpack, and then inside he had a magnetic case. Had the cards with the syringes. To me, it sounds like he brought the meth to the car.
Yeah.
No? All right. Well, take a look here at the defendant's criminal history. It began in 2005, although relatively minor, no operator or no license on his person. He had a pretty good year, 6-year gap or so until he picked up another charge. Not that big of a deal, but it does have to do with crime of dishonesty, having welfare fraud. He then made it about 8 years, but that case was dismissed. So actuality, he made it 9 years until 2020, where he was picked up while on bond and picked up another crime of dishonesty involving an embezzlement. And then while that case was pending, literally 2 weeks later, while still on bond, he picks up yet another charge, and that's for meth. And then he makes it 9 months before he picks up operating without his insurance and an unregistered vehicle. Not a big deal, but that means that the defendant here, knowing that he apparently has just gotten out of jail, he will do what he wants if he thinks he can't get caught sometimes. And then we have a gap in time from May of 2022 until January of 2023, so about 8 months. And then while in this case, he picks up a drug case, he absconds on probation twice. Well, he was supposed to do probation for 2 years, and looks like he only made it a year because he was in an absconder status. And then after that case, he made it a year until he picked up this case. And I appreciate Mr. Petrie, the interest in your son, but your son's 14. Your son was there when you picked up this case. Your son was there in your life when you picked up the drug case in 2023. Your son was there in the case just before that, the one before that, where you picked up another drug case. And your son was there for you when you were convicted of embezzling or stealing from a vulnerable adult. So what's different today? That's my key question.
What's different today than then is that, you know, in retrospect, I messed up. I get that, but I'm ready to do it for me. Then I was just trying to do it for selfish reasons, and I was living life for me. I was trying to do this for me. I'm tired of living this lifestyle. That's what it falls down to.
I mean, you had just gotten out of rehab 6 months before. But you didn't complete the program because you left it.
I got my 30-day check though for doing what I was supposed to do.
Okay, all right. I'm glad to hear that. But you left the treatment program without completing it. And that's the only time you've taken a treatment program, at least according to the pre-sentence investigation report.
Yeah, at the time, like I said, like Ms. Castle said, that I felt as if I was trying to do without that kind of stuff. But like the mechanic there was just not my style, I guess.
Yeah, I hear that one. The mechanic.
Yeah, like there's a ranking system. It's very cultish.
At the treatment program.
Yeah, the treatment program.
Yeah. Well, that wasn't a court, was that a court order program?
No, I went to court.
All right. Now, we don't need to talk about all these in detail here, but in this report, I see that there are some health problems that you've got. And I don't see any medication or treatment issues.
I just when I was at Harvard Hall, the therapist or whatever you want to call him, he diagnosed me with those issues.
Yeah.
Every time I went to CMH right after that, right after I left Harvard Hall, to try to get some help for it, and they told me I was very functional, that I didn't need it.
All right. Well,
I was in Osceola County.
Okay. All right. Well, here's the sentence of the court. First of all,
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yep.
I located the facts from the treatment facility. Would the court like me to forward it right now?
Yes, you may, but I know what I'm going to do though. I mean, I'm going to allow him to get into the treatment program, but it's going to be set up and run through probation, because I need probation to order him into the program, because that way, if you leave the program, then that's a violation. And then if you leave it, you're gone for more than a certain number of days, which is 60, then that becomes a non-technical violation. and non-technical violations leaves the court with a lot more discretion on what to do. So I'm just going to ask Ms. Satawa to go ahead and send it to us, and she can email it to the court. Make sure it gets to Mr. Saladay, and Mr. Saladay can confirm it and get him into the program. Did it have a start date, Ms. Satawa?
Oh, let me pull it right back up. It is dated November 19th. It says, to whom it may concern, this letter is to confirm that Cody Petrie, his date of birth has been approved at Addiction Treatment Services 30-day men's residential treatment program. I'm going to mispronounce this word, but Dukoski Hall, that has an address in Traverse City. It does not have a start date.
All right, you got it right. All right, so here's what the sentence of the court is today. The court sentences the defendant to a period of probation for, I'm going to say 24 months. The court adopts the terms or conditions for probation that are listed inside the PSI and CFJ 145 pages 2 and 3. I find that those terms or conditions are well suited for rehabilitative purposes based upon the defendant's history involving controlled substances and other substances such as alcohol and marijuana. I thought alcohol was listed on it. No, it wasn't listed on there, but still a variety of controlled substances. And therefore, if a person's going to abuse one, I'm concerned that they might abuse another one. So therefore, that applies to alcohol and recreational marijuana. The court sentences the defendant to a $68 state minimum fee, a $130 crime victims' right fund fee, a $300 court cost, a $500 fine, a $300 attorney fee. Do we have DNA here? I don't remember if he had a prior felony.
No DNA fee.
Yep. A supervision fee of $30 a month or $60 a month if there is any electronic monitoring. The court acknowledges that this is an intermediate sanctioned cell. However, the court does find reasonable grounds for some period of jail, specifically the times where he has been violated bond, where he has absconded from probation, and that we have repetitive repetitive controlled substance cases, including, I think at least 2 of them were methamphetamine. So the court sentences the defendant to 90 days with 57 days of credit. And the court's going to ask the probation office and tell them, if you can get him into treatment ASAP, then we'll release you early to get you into the treatment program. Okay. Now, you want to make sure you complete that program. You want to make sure that you invest all of your time in it. You do not want to leave early. If you leave early because you don't like the way someone smells, looks, or smiles, I do not care. All right, you've got to do the program. Have I missed anything, Mr. Saladay?
Oh, Your Honor.
Ms. Carey?
No, thank you.
Fence team?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you very much. All right, 1 second here. Oh, I find that the sentence is reasonably proportional based upon the factors I discussed and the contents of the pre-sentence investigation report. 1 moment. Samantha, are you going to run this over to him?
I will.
One of you? I'm bringing out you 2 copies of 1 document. You're going to place your initials on the first copy. Doing so neither elects nor waives any rights. It merely acknowledges your receipt of your copy of the document. This document tells you that you have the right to appeal the conviction and sentence in your case. That is typically done by filing a claim of right to appeal. However, based upon the plea in this case, any appeal must be done by filing an application for leave to appeal. If you choose to file an application for leave to appeal and you want the court to appoint an attorney to assist you, you may complete the bottom half of the copy that you have there with you and return to the court within 42 days. If you choose not to appeal, you may simply dispose of your copy of the document. You have the right to be considered for early release from your probation at halftime. So if you have been compliant after a year, then you have the right to be released from your probation early. All fines and costs are due within 56 days, or the court can add a 20% penalty. That penalty can be removed by the court as long as you make payments by the end of your probation. So if you want to be off of probation early, you got to pay them early. Does it make sense?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Petrie, how old are you?
I am 40.
40? You're old enough to know? You got a kid? I guarantee you he knows what's going, obviously he knows what's going on with you and your life and your choices. It's about time to set an example, because if you don't, I hate to see him up in a court doing the same stuff. Kids pay attention and learn from their parents, okay? And let's hope that you can teach your son how to handle this issue and how to overcome it, okay? If not, I hate to think of it, but he will end up here in court someday too, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
So don't beat yourself up for that part. Only beat yourself up if you ever go back and start using it again, because then away. All right. All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Petrie. Thank you all very much. We are adjourned.